Today's little episode, if you will call it, is about Screamo. Yes, because, if you look at, certain music, like, things on YouTube, you'll find, like, people have used the word Screamo and other people just written them apart. Oh my god, you're a fucking idiot for using the word Screamo. Screamo is for faggots, blah, 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 that type of shit. Let me sit here and be the first to explain it to you. Screamo and screaming aren't the same thing. They seem like they are, but they're not. Someone might say like, oh, well, this music has screaming in it, so it has to be Screamo. No. Screamo is its own subgenre of rock, having 99% not having to really do anything with screaming. I wouldn't say that high a percentage, but still, it doesn't have 100% to do with screaming. A lot of people make misconceptions about that. But just because a song has screaming in it does not make it Screamo. There's a whole it's a whole technical definition of what Screamo really is, and you can always research it yourself. I'm not about to sit here and explain it. Why? Because even I'm not too technical about this shit, but I do understand the fact is they're not the same thing. How do I know? Because I actually had to do I did a whole research project for my senior year for about screaming. So I'm somewhat of an expert on the subject. I'm not. I half-assed it, so, don't want to take my word 100% to be true, but you shouldn't take that, at least the misconception part, about them not being the same thing. Anyway, I always find that funny that people bash on each other for that thing because you're an idiot because you don't describe this music as Screamo. Because not everyone is educated in knowing the fact that Screamo and screaming aren't always 100% connected. And anyone that bashes on you saying you're an idiot for not knowing that, at one point they were an idiot too. Because I doubt there's anyone out there who knew that. The only way you'll know that is if you're a fucking music expert. You're you know everything there is to know about fucking music. And even then, at some point, you had to research it to learn the knowledge you know. Or someone had to explain it to you. To me, those are the only two ways you can know freehand what Screamo, how Screamo and screaming aren't really the same thing. If you talk to the right people who are knowledgeable about music, or just some random person, who sat down and explained it to you, or you researched it yourself, We can't all be experts in, about the whole subject. The second part of this video will be me talking about the word generic core, or just plain generic, Because I've seen that term flipped around so much on different pages, oh my god, My Ticket Home is just a generic version of Attack Attack. Don't fucking bash me, I'm not fucking saying that. I'm not saying per se that comment exists, but people still use that word, and I'm like, you're a fucking dumbass for calling any band generic. Generic to me means everybody can fucking do it. I don't think everyone can fucking do what some bands do. Yes, bands sound similar, but there are going to be fucking bands throughout all time that are going to fucking sound similar. Because some are going to bring back an old school vibe that a band in the past had, or they're going to have the same modern feel that another band has, You just can't completely dismiss them. You can't say Woe Is Me was and kind of is the more hardcore version of Emerosa. You can't say that and being saying but it's the more generic core version. You can't say shit like that because it's stupid. Because obviously they're two separate brands, two separate awesome bands, and you can't really compare them and be lumping them together saying they're generic because everyone else kind of getting into that thing or they have a generic sound. Every band to me has their own unique sound. They have something that sets them apart. Even if it's in the minute way, they set themselves apart from everyone else. So you don't have the right to use the word generic when describing anyone. Because if you do, I have the right to call you a generic troller who just likes to fucking go on videos and fucking troll and talk shit about everybody, talking about, how much this sucks, how... The fact is, I don't see you doing any better unless you can prove me wrong by posting videos of yourself doing better than some bands and telling me what's not generic, because I want someone to really explain to me what is generic and what's not considered generic. I want you can make a fucking video response, or just fucking comment below. Tell me, explain to me in truth what generic core is and what generic is in the music industry. You know, tell me what you think about what I've talked about today. Click this little annotation for the last video that I posted, you know, so you can catch up on a little bit I've been doing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that brings our little video to an end, because I've got to do stuff. Shut up. Laters.